Hi lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time stopping by, you're very welcome, and join the family. Go through my channel, you're bound to find something you like or something you find very useful and very helpful. So today I'm going to be going into a special video, a video you might not know you need, but like this is going to take your application from maybe getting approved to definitely getting approved. So I'm going to be teaching you how to write the perfect SOP, statement of purpose, letter of intent. So I was actually inspired to write this to make this video because I think a month or two ago, I had one of my friends come to me and say, oh, she's applying for her visa, and since I had gotten mine, that I should give her tips. What did I do? What documents I submitted and everything. I told her about my statement of purpose, and she was like, oh, she doesn't know how to write one and it's so difficult for her and everything. And I was like, oh, that's okay. I wrote mine. Let me help you write yours. And I wrote hers for her. And she called me a week or so ago, and she was like, I've gotten my visa, and she's like, thank you so much for the statement of purpose and everything. And I was like, why gatekeep? Why keep it to myself when I can help a thousand other people, trying to apply for their visa? So today I'm going to be giving you a basic format. Get your pen and your paper. You're going to want to jot this down. I think I should link a PDF, so in case you're not able to jot it down, you can just take the PDF and flesh it out. So first of all, people are like, what's an SOP, letter of intent? You see it everywhere. So this basically is an opportunity for you to explain yourself. You're not going to have an interview when you're doing your visa applications. This is an opportunity to have a conversation with the person, your visa officer. And the thing about this is immigration officers, they have a lot. Their cost, their load is a lot. So they don't want something too lengthy. They want something that hits the point, something very go to that hits the point, and they don't have to spend too much time reading. They might scan through it. Funny enough, schooling here has kind of taught me how to read and spend less time reading, so the key points, what they're looking for, and yes, basically your SOP is anything that's kind of unclear or ambiguous in your application, any document you sent, anything that is not your heart is not at peace, you're not feeling comfortable. It's time to explain yourself in your SOP, in the statement of purpose. So I'll be telling you the various subheadings. The first one is your introduction. So in the introduction section, you're saying your name, your a little bit of your background, your home ties, your personality traits. I started off mine by saying oh, my name is so and so Chidera, and I'm a so and so class graduate or so and so university. That's how I started mine. And then I said mentioning this and this and this. I said I'm passionate, I'm diligent, blah blah, stuff like that, intelligent. And then I went on to talk about my family, my home ties. I mentioned where my parents are, what my siblings are doing, where we live. And in the home ties, I made notes to mention that we have this tradition, because I'm Igbo, we have this tradition where we go to the village every December. It's a time for all the family, the extended family and everybody to meet and everything. So I made sure to mention that there's an importance in my culture that says that I should go back to my village every December, every Christmas, Then I went to my educational history. I talked about my previous education, basically my undergraduate. I talked about that. I talked about my areas of expertise, let's say statistics, business, mathematics, stuff like that. You talk about your expertise. I also spoke about my extracurricular and leadership, things you did outside of school was kind of related to school. I mentioned how I was part of a community development association. I mentioned my leadership skills, things I did that fell under the brackets of leadership. So I mentioned that under educational history, but at the same time, you want them to know this about you. You don't want to talk too long. My statement of purpose was just one page, and that's how it should be. I just basically highlighted it. This is my educational background. If your GPA is high, if your CGPA was high, you graduated very well, you want to let them know that, then You can also explain any other certifications you've gotten, any other thing you've done in addition to, you know, your school, anything at all that falls under education that you want to let them know. Your certification, you have a project management certification, if you have licenses, anything at all, just put it there. Anything that you feel will strengthen your application. Then the next paragraph, like I'm telling you sequentially how you want everything to flow, because a good SOP is about flow. So the next paragraph, I told them the reason for choosing the school, like how my past degree, how my undergraduate degree relates to this current degree that I'm doing. Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do this program? Make it make sense. You know, it has to make sense. You can't just say I want to do this program because it's lucrative, or I want to do this program because I heard it's what they're looking for to hire somebody. Or there has to be something of depth. So you want to say, oh, this is something I experienced that made me say, oh, I want to specialize in this particular area. So I decided to get a master's in that area. So, you know, that kind of flow. Then you also talk about how does the program relate to your future ambition. Okay, so I believe getting this master's is going to help me attain so and so, which is on my 10-step goal, or so and so, which is one of my dreams, my goal, my ambition. So you want to mention all of that. And then the next one in a sequential flow is now your reason for choosing Canada. Why did you choose Canada? What are the things you admire about Canada? What do you like? Why is Canada your choice for furthering your education? You can go to Google. If you're having writer's block for some inspiration, you'll say, oh, are you going to Canada because of the safety, the safe environment, for the diversity and the background? Are you going to Canada because of their resources? Like, just why exactly are you going to? Why do you choose Canada as the place that you want to go and study? And you also talk about why you admire it and what you like to take back when you're going to your home country. Because remember, it's very important that you show them that you're going to go back to your home country. They want to see that. They don't want you to come and be a liability to them. They don't want you to come and just to like get a job or just to work. They want you to actually come for what you said you're coming. Everybody loves honest people. Integrity is the way of life. So you let them know why or what you like to take back with you when you're going back home to your country. In every single of these paragraphs, you need to indicate, when you're looking at every paragraph, you should at least say, okay, this hints that I'm going back to my country, this hints I'm going back to my country. So every paragraph, there should be a hint that you're going back to your country, a strong stance that definitely I'm going back to my country. Because I mean, who wants to go back to Nigeria? Come on now. So next one, which is quite important, is finances. Who is sponsoring you? Are you self-funded, or like basically who is sponsoring you? Then you have to sort of explain the person's credentials. The person is a maybe regional manager of so and so XYZ company, or just basically their credentials. How are they fit enough to, you know, sponsor you? How much do they earn per year? You don't need to write all of that, but just briefly explain how they're fit enough to sponsor you. Explain their relationship to you, like why would they want to sponsor you? There has to be a proper relationship. You can't just say my neighbor is sponsoring me, or somebody I met online is sponsoring. There has to be a significant relationship. Like, you have to establish a connection. Why does this person want to see you go for a master's? How would it benefit them? So you write like who is sponsoring you, write who is sponsoring you, their credentials, how they are fit enough to sponsor you, and their commitment. Their relationship to you will show their commitment to paying your school fees and giving you feeding and, you know, all of that. The second to the last point would be your work experience. You'd want to let them know your work background, like where have you worked, what have you done. Let's say you've had 10 years in a financial institution, you've worked 10 years at an oil and gas firm, 5 years at a startup. You know, you want them to know what you've done. You know how to, you write your CV, make it impressive. So then you can also include, if you don't have so much work experience, you can include volunteer work, internships, and let them know if you're currently working or not. And then you also want to let them know that you have a good relationship with your boss and you're well recommended by your bosses. So that's one. And then you also want to let them know the skills the skills that working has built for you, the skills you've gained by working. Basically, let's say you've built strong work ethics and principle, it has made you more resilient and disciplined. They'll want to know all of those things. And last but not the least, your conclusion is basically pledging to abide by their rules and their guidelines, pledging to be to contribute positively to their community, to their society, to their environment, and then you want to let them know that yeah, basically pledge to their rules. Like I assure you that I would conduct myself within your guidelines and your regulations. And then you thank them for considering you. You appreciate them for their time and their consideration. And that is that. So this is something that has worked for me that I'm sharing with you. It's not something that is set in stone. If you didn't really get much from what I said, I mean, there's a document that I'm going to attach. I want to see if I can even attach this PDF document so that you can also use it. And I pray and I hope to God that you get your visa, and I pray that you will be approved and it will be songs of praises from here henceforth. So you can mix it up. You can do your work history after your education. You can do education after the reasons you chose Canada. Like, you can switch it up, but like, this is something that makes sense to me. The flow is very, the flow just makes sense. And also, I'm someone that writes a lot. I write for people too. I write a lot for myself and I write for other people. I get paid to write. So this is something that has worked, and I can attest to it to a certain degree. But there's one thing I would tell you, and I tell myself, is just go with your gut, go with your instinct. Don't do something strictly because somebody said you should do it. Honestly, they're not going to be there to answer for you. So yeah, but I can assure you of my SOP. So thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. I love the love that I've been getting. I love the comments. Don't forget to drop more comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. There's so much more coming. I will be talking about, you guys can also suggest things you'd like me to talk about. Don't forget, I'm your online bestie, so you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I can't be the only one doing the talking. The comment section is for you guys to talk to me too. What kind of relationship is one-sided? It's not working. It's not working, guys. So thank you guys for coming. I love you guys forever and always.